Intricate.
Marvin.
The motivation.
Golf. Marv the golf.
Dusty Fresh.
Marv. Music.
Yo, he knew everything.
Marvin Blair.
Marvelous Marvin.
Phenomenal.
Garvin never starves that told you like Brett Favre.
Sarcasm.
Marvelous Marvin.
Marvin.
He'd actually care.
Marv the golf who never stops.
Who's that dude in the middle of the yard just dancing?
Marv.
One time when we were at Denny's like 6 months ago and Tyshawn would not give him his burger even though he could not consume any more. He had like a whole half left and Tyshawn just didn't want to give it to Marvin. And Marvin got so upset and he was flipping out and it was the funniest thing ever.
Restaurant, I think in Long Island. We bet Marvin he couldn't drink water through his nose, and yeah, he did it. And it was disgusting. His nose was running. Always protecting his food. Food comes first. That's Marvin.
He ate an entire pack of hot dogs by himself.
But one plate of food was never enough for him.
Memory, which is one of mine and my mother's memory, is when we had cliche week and we were all dressing up.
The time we had flavored condoms from school, and he was wondering what it tasted like.
It was banana.
It was a banana flavor, and Kamal, Marvin and I like licked it, but then Marvin took it to a whole other level and chewed on it like gum. That was crazy.
We both took band together, and I saw him with his love of drums. Plus, I heard he could play the violin.
It was when he'd be like, all right, I'll take you down in 3 seconds. And then he'd be like, all right, 1, 2, 3.
He bought Chantel's pinks, his pink sweats. He thought he was swagged out in them, like. And then we was playing ball and he was playing really good. And then one of the dudes was like, "Yo, shorty." He turned back, he smiled, and then he smacked the jump shot.
There's this plate of food, this significant plate of food that Marvin has to protect. And his pose to me was this. I would never forget this.
One thing I loved about Marvin was his loyalty.
His personality would never stop, always be the best he could be at anything he did.
But he never quit.
Marvin was genuinely strong.
And he thought he had the best body in the world.
You know what I'm saying?
Quickly, someone else give me a
This.
Okay, he didn't look like that.
His arms were like that, you know? That's Mom.
Left side was his good side, so he likes to turn this way a lot.
Face, because he started calling me face, and I'm like, whoa, the pot calling the kettle black.
His serious faces and those crazy tight shirts.
The serious face, like.
His upset face.
He never really smiled, so he had a frown about him. I'll do this one.
Yo, she feeling me. She feeling me.
Like, get
I'm not good at this.
That's people just wanted to be his friend.
Marvin was always there for me.
He was always there if I need anything, like I drop anyway, he would do it.
But for me, it was real personal. He was really always there for me. Like, we had kind of a different relationship. Like, everybody was cool, but I knew him for 14 years. And it was always Tyshawn and Taylor, and then me and Marv. Like, even our nickname was Jarvin to some people.
One thing I loved about Marvin was his personality. He was always himself.
What was his method of saving?
Had a heart of a lion. He was just always striving for more.
He was someone who was always there.
What I loved about Marvin was how family oriented he was.
He always made everybody laugh, even if we was joking on him. Even if one of us went MIA, you know, he was there. It's gonna be hard.
He was determined to provide a certain lifestyle for himself.
Memory that will live on in me is the fact that we saw each other grow up. Like, you know, from elementary school, I came to 160 in 6th grade. I met him in 3rd, Then we ended up being class in 6th. And then we all graduated. I was so happy that all of us decided to go to Gateway. So we still stuck together as our 160 crew. And our 160 crew graduated from Gateway together. So that's my moment. Seeing all of you guys graduate and seeing him cross that stage and get our diplomas.
I loved his cutthroatness. 62 Gateway, you know, he would just tell people like it was.
I would just remember him as things come at me, and hopefully they're all good memories.
Marvin, if you're listening to this, still can't believe that you're gone. And I'm gonna try my hardest not to believe it.
Rest in peace. We knew each other for like 7, 8 years now, kind of like family, a brother.
Marvin, you'd definitely be missed, especially when we see all the brothers together. And at a party that's banging, we're just gonna look for you.
I'm sorry that he couldn't, you know, live out his dreams. I'm sorry that he couldn't do all he wanted in life.
My last message is to say that as much as we came from elementary school together, from 116, we went to Gateway, I'm glad that we still stayed connected.
Sorry, we had a lot of times, some good and bad, ranging from juice to slicing your face open, which I'm sorry about. But you know what I'm saying, you're always there, you're always a good friend, and you will be missed, period.
I know we didn't really end that well, but my fault for that. I know you came back to me mad times like, yo, let's forget about it, let's be cool, but I'm just being stupid. My fault. I'm gonna miss you though.
Very disappointed with how you went out. I was very disappointed with you this summer through some of your actions, and you know, I was hoping to talk about it come November when I was going to come back to New York for Thanksgiving so we could, you know, fix our relationship instead of sully it. You were a very hard worker, very determined, very motivated by the money. Definitely wanted to be that dude all the time. It was either that or you didn't want to be anything. And you were definitely taking the strides in the right direction to make that happen. So I was proud of you in that regard. And that's it. Love you.
I always thought there was time for, you know, him to change or, you know, for him to mature, because we were all maturing, and this is the age where we learn a lot of things, you know, quickly again, and, you know, our way of thinking changes. But I was just waiting for that chance for him to really come back and say, my fault for this, or, you know, just explain how he felt about certain things. In that regard, other than that, we had a great friendship, and, you know, a lot of things came out towards the end of our friendship, but there was always, I thought there was always time to, you know, recover and build back up on what we had. And you'll always be missed, and I love you.
Okay. Last thing I want to say is, Marvin, I love you. You're never going in my heart. Will always be there. Watching you grow up was a special occurrence for me. Watching you do the things you did was special to me. And I will always, always hold you in my heart. Nobody could compare to the things that not only did you influence others, but that you influenced me. And I miss you. I love you. And one day I'll see you again. I love you, Marv.
I love him a lot, and I wish I got to see him one last time.
I miss you, I love you, and, you know, like a real brother to me.
We love you, Marvin.
What do you like? You know who Marvin was like? Like, he was like the father from Chris Rock show.
Yes, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Julius, his name was Julius.
As he watched like the candy get thrown in the trash from Halloween, he was like
calculating.
worth of candy.
Can't tell Tom when he's sleeping.
Turn that off. Turn off the alarm clock. Can't tell Tom when he's sleeping.